Despite parental pushback following two recent sexual assaults in Loudoun County, Virginia high schools, some colleges and universities are moving beyond gender-neutral bathrooms and locker room policies. The University of North Dakota is now considering housing students based on their gender identity. We're here to set us straight on this is Campus Reform's Ophelie Jacobson. Ophelie, tell us what's going on at the University of North Dakota.
Well, this is absolutely outrageous. The University of North Dakota is considering a policy change that would impose these gender inclusion mandates on nearly every facet of university life, including where students live. So essentially how this would work is housing would be determined on a student's gender identity and expression. So if a male identifies as a female, he could essentially be assigned a female roommate. And look, dorms and bathrooms are supposed to be some of the most private spaces on a college campus. But unfortunately, with policies like this being considered at the University of North Dakota, that's soon going to change.
Well, where else is this being considered, or is it only at the University of North Dakota?
Right now, the Leadership Institute's campus reform is tracking this policy at the University of North Dakota. But don't be fooled. This trend could essentially spread into other college campuses across the nation. We know that what's happened on one college campus can spread to other schools. And the Biden administration has already made its stance clear on these gender inclusion policies. So this is why parents and students really need to start speaking up at the University of North Dakota before it spreads to other schools.
And what are students telling you? How are they reacting to policies like this?
Well, frankly, students and females should be very upset because this puts women's safety second to advancing the leftist woke agenda that these radical politicians and these radical university administrations are pushing. We saw what happened in Virginia where a 14-year-old girl was raped in a school bathroom by a male who was wearing a skirt. So we know the type of danger that these policies can present. And parents shouldn't have to be concerned when they send their daughters to school in the morning, whether that's to an elementary or to a high school or even to a college and university. But these policies make parents concerned for their daughter's safety. I mean, these parents and students, they're paying thousands of dollars in tuition costs to feel confident that university officials are putting their students' safety first. But again, the policy at the University of North Dakota that they're considering does the exact opposite.
Yeah, it's difficult enough for a parent sending their child away and wondering about their safety. Whether this is going on or not, campuses have become more dangerous. So after what happened in Loudoun County that you mentioned, also with the Republican election victory there in Virginia, many people expected educational institutions would forego implementing these gender inclusive identity policies and so forth. But it seems the opposite has happened, Ophelie. Why?
Absolutely. I mean, again, it's this woke mob, the leftist agenda that's being pushed. And it's not just only in the bathrooms and in the dorms. We've also seen with sports, this attack on women in sports. The NCAA's policy on transgender student athlete participation says that males who have undergone at least one calendar year of testosterone treatment, they're going to be allowed to participate in women's sports. So this type of policy coming from the NCAA, this policy that we're seeing at the University of North Dakota, it puts women at a severe disadvantage and at a severe safety risk as well. It also makes me wonder, where are the feminists on this issue? Why aren't they the ones speaking up? They should be the first ones to be against these policies because it's basically anti-women. And so because the feminists aren't speaking up, that's where parents and students need to come in.
How about there where you're at, University of Florida? How are things there? Same policies or different?
Luckily, the policy hasn't been even considered at the University of Florida, which I'm super thankful for. But I can assure you that if it was being considered, I would be the first one to speak up against because this absolutely should not be happening on any college campus. It would put me and my friends at a severe risk when it comes to living in the dorm life and even using a bathroom on campus.
Okay, we're glad you're there, keeping an eye on it. Ophelie Jacobson, Campus Reform reporter, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me on.